How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
If there's one thing the Champions Trophy holds over the World Cups, it is that this is the competition where India versus Pakistan quantifiably qualifies as a rivalry. It's the big one. And so, on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, we've got the big ones in the studio. Sanjay, Manjrekar, Anil, Kumble, pleasure to have your company.
Thank you.
To set up this one, in this competition, unlike the World Cup, Sanjay, Pakistan actually hold the advantage, and they have a last match which they remember fondly 8 years later.
Yeah, they might want to remember it fondly or would remember fondly, but as they say, change is the only constant in life, and the Indian team has changed for the better. No disrespect, 2017, you were...
No problem.
And, and Pakistan have sort of gone down as a team. So when I look at this matchup, I see a stronger Indian team with the, emergence of Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer, batting depth and all that. I just feel that might just be a memory, and what we're looking at, the reality today, is a lot different.
I had promised myself I will not entertain any 2017 questions towards you, but your friend here had other ideas.
Yeah.
But when you look at Pakistan, they've lost the opener, which means there's no room for error, which conventionally means that's when Pakistan are at their most dangerous.
Yeah, they could be, but I think like Sanjay mentioned, 2017, yes, you don't want to remember that. I was a part of that dressing room there, and things didn't go well for India. But Pakistan did play well on that day. Fakhar Zaman took the game away from India, but right now he's injured, out of the tournament. There's a replacement. Pakistan had an opportunity to bring in another spinner because they only have one frontline spinner. And in Dubai, we have seen India played Bangladesh. The pitch was slow, it was turning a bit, and that's something that Pakistan, with their three fast bowlers, I'm not really sure whether that's the ideal sort of strength. You would want a second spinner, but they went with another batter. Imamul Haq has come in as a replacement. They'll have to certainly up their game if they have to compete against India, because India is certainly at their peak, although India will miss Bumrah. But going by what we saw against Bangladesh, India is certainly dominant in terms of all departments. They've covered everything. Yes, they'll be hoping that they'll take those catches, which they come. You don't want to drop those. But otherwise, I think India did a great job against Bangladesh.
What you say about Pakistan's pacers presents such an interesting shift in narrative if you consider India versus Pakistan. We think of the times you guys were playing, Pakistan's pacers versus India was such a contest. You think of the last ICC meeting in Dubai, which created the aura of Shaheen Afridi and what he did, and yet already, just in such a quick span of time, that pace battery doesn't feel as dangerous anymore.
Yes, and it was a kind of a revelation for us in Sri Lanka when we had an encounter with Pakistan in the Asia Cup before the 2023 World Cup. And then we saw, Shaheen Afridi live up to his expectation in the first game, which was rain affected. But as the tournament went on, we also got to see that Shaheen Afridi wasn't the same bowler that he was. The speed in the air had completely disappeared. So all the trickery that he had without the same speed in the air wasn't the same. And Haris Rauf had the pace, but not quite, able to sort of lead like Bumrah does with his fast bowling. And Naseem Shah has emerged as the best bowler on form. So yes, the fast bowling is their main strength. There's almost nothing there in the spin department. But even in the fast bowling, Haris Rauf and Shaheen Afridi have seen better days.
Consistency is missing. I mean, that's the key. Pakistan, whether it's their fast bowling or with their batting, they have not been consistently performing. And that's something that I think they'll have to set aside if they have to make it in this tournament, because they've already lost the first game in their home turf against New Zealand, and now against India, coming up against a very strong Indian lineup without Fakhar Zaman. It'll be a tough ask, I feel.
Yes, and what that means is a little more breathing room for the two stalwarts in the Indian camp, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. What have we made of their start to the tournament? We saw Rohit bat one way, Kohli another. How do they head into this contest?
I think Rohit will keep doing the same. I think he's committed to this effort, and at this stage of his career and looking at his overall fitness as well, I think this is a much more sensible approach. I just feel for Virat Kohli, when things pile up against you as you start aging, it's unfortunate that he was looking at this tournament, his format, where he could have, got into his rhythm, got 100, and what he does best in 50 overs cricket. The pitch that we're seeing in Dubai is the one that Virat Kohli would least want to play on. And at this crucial juncture of his career, that's the kind of pitch that you have. So I see Virat Kohli, having a little bit of a struggle because these surfaces just make his life difficult. Rohit Sharma will play exactly like he did against Bangladesh, throw caution to the wind and see how it goes.
Thoughts on the batting?
Yeah, I think, from the two of them, Virat and Rohit, Rohit will, like Sanjay mentioned, will just go there and then do what he does best. Against Bangladesh, we saw that. He just came in and stepped out and started taking on the bowlers, and he'll make sure that he utilizes the power play irrespective of who's bowling. With Virat, I feel, yes, the entire sort of focus is on him because he's been such a great player, a superstar. When you have all the focus, you could sense that when he was batting that he wants it desperately, and he's doing everything to get it right. I think that's when you sort of start losing it a little bit. Sometimes you just need to let go of everything and just say it doesn't matter, because the other batters are in great form. And Shreyas Iyer, he spoke about, Shubman Gill has batted brilliantly, KL Rahul is amongst runs against Bangladesh, so he's in form. Hardik Pandya, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, you have a long batting lineup. So this is the time for him to just go there and say, look, there's no pressure, let me enjoy myself, and then just bat freely. I think that's the Virat that you would want to see, because I felt that he was really fidgety. He wanted desperately to get those runs, even when he was blocking. You have not seen him in that kind of a mold. You would want him to just go there and just free himself and bat as freely that he can. I know there's a lot of pressure as a player of his ability, but you just sometimes have to just let go and just go out there and then just watch the ball and enjoy that moment rather than put pressure saying, I need to get these runs.
All right, let's consider the bowling combination. India's pacers had a great opening game. Shami taking 5, Harshit taking 3. When you look at the spin department, Kuldeep versus Varun was one of the questions ahead of the tournament. Sanjay mentioned in our preview to Bangladesh that Varun Chakravarti is a player Bangladesh haven't seen much of. Applies to Pakistan as well. Are you tempted?
No, I think you still want to go with the same lineup. Kuldeep, I know, didn't get wickets, but if Hardik had taken that catch, maybe Kuldeep would have ended up with a couple of more wickets. That suddenly changes your attitude going into the next game. But you don't want a stop-start, especially when your confidence is a little bit low. He's also coming back from an injury. Ideally, he's your best white ball spinner for a long period of time. So you would want to give him that kind of leeway, that like how we are talking about Virat too. So it's important that Kuldeep gets that backing from the team management, and then he gets an opportunity against Pakistan.
Stick with the same bowling combination?
I think they will, but my thing is, if Varun Chakravarti plays, it's not going to weaken the Indian bowling attack. We'll get to watch something different. It'll be fun to see him bowl to the Pakistani batters who got no clue. He played the T20 World Cup in Abu Dhabi, but having said that, he's at the top of his game. This pitch is pretty good for spinners, but wouldn't matter. But as Anil said, for Kuldeep's sake, because life has not been easy for him. He gets dropped very often, arrested very often. I'll be happy to see him play again and continue the good work.
All right, that's the setup then. This is not a game where we ask for predictions. So that's it from Anil Kumble and Sanjay Manjrekar. The stage is set for India versus Pakistan.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.